chain of game. When the QB chain birth most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies. Family size, leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the SoDo district of Seattle.
Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
Here we go.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Now, these two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Second and 5. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. 7 yards there and a first down. The Seahawks had a woeful 3-12 on the year. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true as well.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 30 on second down, Murray, he'll get that one complete to counter. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right?
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kalen Ballage.
That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cardinals use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll drop to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Balaj. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down. Murray going to throw. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. He's going to look deep down the field. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. They run it with Balaj. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Murray. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to get it back here just past the 35. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because he's getting...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew's got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Cardinals 14. Seahawks nothing.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Fuller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. The extra point up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown.
Johnson, it's poked free. Football's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? You see on the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about
Murray fighting, lost the football. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on second and long. Murray, he'll take his shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you want the final metric on his top speed, and trust me, you do, Next Gen Stats says he hit 22.4 miles an hour.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And the Cards are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Able to get this one to McBride. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there's an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Shoves him aside. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They'll stay on the ground. Ballage again. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 26. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand.
Walker hit and the ball is out, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one. That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Now Ballage. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Ballage. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Ballage. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
The tackle made by Jordan Brooks. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Toss play to Ballage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
On the double.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We're facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time was well for a solid gain.
And some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. But this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Back to throw again. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Ready. On the ball. On the ball. Ready.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying again another day. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
111 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals.
When I'm in my zone and get it going, Donkey Kong. They got the hand out, will you give it like a bone? I'm like, oh, no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take it home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong, like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, or you shit wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm a brother.